Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree.
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
To get yourself a Christmas tree for your gifts to go under, I suppose you could go into the forest with an axe and chop it down yourself, or you could just pay a trip to Tinseltown. Russ Mitchell leads the way into the realm of possibility.
Off the shores of Lake Michigan, in the small town of Manitowoc, Wisconsin, they sparkle, they shimmer, they spin. Welcome to Tinseltown, the real Tinseltown, the town that put the aluminum Christmas tree on the map.
They're very Liberace in that sort of glittering, glistering, overstated way, but yet they're so quiet. Okay, here we go.
Over the years, photographers Julie Lindemann and John Shimon have collected dozens of the trees.
When we first started accumulating them in the early 90s, there was sort of this sense of, ew, they're so ugly, why do you want them? And that's definitely changed in the last few years.
They did move on from being almost instant bad taste to then good bad tastes.
Bad taste, so good that these modern-day Christmas icons are now captured in their glittering new book, Season's Gleamings, all about America's decade of tinsel mania, beginning with the debut of Manitowoc's first aluminum tree in 1959.
What is it about aluminum Christmas trees that you find so fascinating?
Well, I think the most shocking thing about them is that they're antiques, yet still a little bit futuristic.
Were some people considered outlaws who had this sort of tree?
The trees, I think, were from an era where people were looking for something fresh and new. We had come out of the Great Depression, the war, all this sort of very hard sort of feelings about living in America. So suddenly, this is new, it's sparkling, it's clean, it's modern, it's spectacular.
An honest-to-goodness blast from the past, for a long time, proudly displayed in the windows of their storefront gallery. A curiosity to some, but not to this man.
I understand you were taking a stroll past Julie and Johnny's shop.
Yes.
And you looked in the window. What did you see?
We saw a large group of forest of aluminum trees, and the wife and I said, we have to go in and take a look.
And we thought, okay, come on in. It was just sort of twilight and the snow was coming down. And he stood in the space and he walked around and he looked and then he said, I helped make these.
Wow. Richard Thompson was chief engineer of Project Evergleam at Manitowoc's Aluminum Specialty Company. His job? To design the very first assembly line aluminum tree based on a handmade original spotted in Chicago.
When you first heard this idea, did you think it was absolutely nutty?
No, I loved it.
You loved it?
I thought it would be real interesting.
In the end, Evergleam's evergreen wasn't much more than a wooden pole with holes drilled into the center for its branches. And as for the tinsel,
during World War II, they made what they called chaff that they threw out of aircraft over Germany to block radar. And this is what they had. They were able to have fine cut aluminum coil. And so that kind of gave us the idea how to do this.
My job was to go out and try to sell it. In the first year, it was funny. You tell a buyer, I got something that's new, it's hot, it's different, you're going to want it. What is it? Aluminum Christmas tree. Come on, you got to be kidding. You know, this type of thing.
In March of 1959, aluminum specialty salesman Jerry Walk took the Evergleam tree to New York's toy show with a pitch.
This is part of Christmas, really, is what it gets down to, because it does what Christmas is supposed to do. It makes you feel good, it sparkles, it shines, you got color to it, you got everything that you can do with it. And it became, like in our family, it's tradition.
Starting as low as $2.29 for a 2-foot tree, Evergleam evergreens soon became the hallmark of a contemporary Christmas. Color wheel not included.
We are the girls of a specialty. We specialize in Christmas trees. We can
Ginger Barronbrook still remembers the factory song they'd sing to stay awake on the overnight shift.
To make your Christmas gay and bright, we are the girls of a specialty. We make Christmas trees.
At its peak, the plant turned out more than 300,000 evergreen trees a year, lighting living rooms, including this reporter's, across the country.
How important was this to this town?
It was very important. It helped a lot of us go through college. The other thing is, a lot of the women who worked these lines were housewives. And this was the back-to-school money. This was the Christmas money for their family.
1971 marked the end of evergreen production. The aluminum tree became a less than shiny symbol of Christmas's past.
Why do you think these went out of style?
Vietnam started heating up and Kennedy was assassinated. I think just the mood in the country changed drastically, and the tree very much is counter to that sense of the back to the earth movement and peace movement and all these sorts of things that were happening.
But now, evergreen or evergleam? 45 years after the aluminum tree's debut, it looks like Tinseltown is getting its sparkle back.